Talker, Jordan Sanchez. This is your first March 16th monthly reading for your beautiful subscription. We want to thank you. And so while we're here, we're going to sage. Set this on fire. Alright, we're going to cleanse the space. Yes, this is natural sage that came from Iowa, where I'm from. I don't know, it smells different from this one, which is the mainstream ones, you know, commercial ones. Natural one. Actually, I think they're also two different kinds. Alright, let's see what the universe has to say to Jordan. Alright. While we're doing now, while we're shuffling, we're going to see what your some channeled songs might be. That doesn't mean that they're always songs that will come out that are channeled. But we'll see. The song that's on there is It's Gonna Be Me by NSYNC. Let's see.
1, 2, 3,
My baby don't mess around, cause she loves me so, and I said no for sure. For sure. I don't mess around because I love the universe. And I really can't stand to see the people walk out the door. But I've got to fight this feeling. Because the thought alone is killing me right now. And ultimately, sometimes, the truth hurts. Having to walk away from things that we cared about, once we loved, once we spent time with. This is your higher self. Here's your ancestors. What are you doing? Hey! Sorry, I gotta go get the cat. No! Get out of here. No. That stuff is not for you. If you don't stop, you're gonna be leaving. You're gonna be evicted from this room. Alright. Ancestors and spirit guides. She's on this kick of climbing door frames at this moment. And it drives me absolutely nuts. Angels of abundance. This is more directed towards finances, the bigger picture of your stability. See, ancestors and spirit guides, they play in the small parts. Your angels play in the bigger parts, the ones that actually, like, can sway the direction of your life in a more solidified way, as in your spirit guides and ancestors. I mean, they all help each other, but in this particular situation, for you, it's directing you towards bigger things. You are making the movement. You're having a hard time with your intuition, and the reason is because you're still holding on to emotional traumas that are meant to confuse your intuition. They're meant to these moments were created so that if you were presented with an alternative, you would question. And you know, like when it comes to these situations that you come across, you know that if you went this way, everything would be fine. But because of the emotional damage that has happened, you doubt it. But you're starting to put in the work to bring peace to that. You're emotionally withdrawing from those people, places, and things, and really trying to tap into your mind, heart, and soul. Get your mind, your heart, and your soul, which also is your sacral chakra or your solar plexus. But in this case, it's your mind, your heart, and your self-esteem, right? And trusting those things. Those things, really, truly, these are what powers your intuition, your mind, your heart, and your personal identity. Once you're solidified in these three areas, it's going to be a lot easier to trust this one. And I started with this one. I started loving myself first, correcting the things, the imbalances in my sacral chakra, right? This is where I started from this spot. I didn't start from my root because stability isn't really an issue per se for me. Became an issue for me because of my self-esteem. It wasn't, once I worked on my self-esteem, providing myself stability, whether it's financially, emotionally, spiritually, became a lot easier once I began to actually like myself. Despite what my environment was trying to reflect back to me, I started pouring into my cup, right? And removing anything that didn't make me feel good about myself. You know what I mean? It's one thing to make mistakes, but for those people who try to shame you or ridicule you instead of trying to encourage you and help you and teach you, I started to separate between those types of people. And the type of people that were meant to be in my life said, hey, I see you fucked up. That's okay. Next time, try this instead. You've got this. We all make mistakes. They didn't make me feel inferior because of my transgressions that I actually was trying to heal from. Because sometimes we make mistakes, and not because we are fuck-ups, but because we're having a hard time learning our own emotions. And this is kind of what that means. When you start to pour more love, when you start to work on this, you start to work on this. Because now you're starting to love yourself more. And then when you're loving yourself more, you're loving others more, right? This will help change your mind so that you can think positive thoughts. Think positive thoughts, think clearly, know who you are, regardless of what everybody else is saying. And this is what amplifies. I mean, you already got intuition going on in your life, but this one solidifies. When you build on these three, this solidifies your intuition so that you're not doubting yourself. You're not second guessing yourself because you're aligned, and then you get into the working of the foundation and then honest communication, because that falls in between here, but it's not as focused until you really set in these ways. Because then you can speak your authentic truth. You're not worried about if somebody's not going to like you. You're not worried about rejection. Not worried about saying stupid stuff, because sometimes we do. But you're okay with that because you know that as long as you say it, and the right people might correct it, and you might learn. If it was wrong, you're going to learn to the right. If it's right, you're going to be assured in your correctness. This helps your self-esteem, right? And then you're like, man, I'm operating in love, and I'm operating in a good space for myself and others. That amplifies this, right? And this kind of, when you're working on these two, is where you kind of get into this one. Because without having a healthy mind, you really can't, without the attempt of creating a healthy mind, you don't really get to feed into these too much. And I don't think you have much of a problem talking to yourself, honestly. I think it gets to a point where you know your truth, but it's hard to separate other people's truth or lies about a situation at times for you. But you got to give yourself credit because you have been putting in the work, Jordan, right? And that is what's bringing this hopeful desire I can feel that, like, you're starting to be more open and encouraged to try and learn new things about yourself. And this is what your higher self is saying. You're doing the inner alchemy. Way to go. And you're becoming conscious of how you speak to yourself. And continue to do this. You know, from this reading, you already started. You just need to work on emotionally withdrawing from people who don't support that. And talk to yourself better. Keep talking to yourself the way you deserve to be talked to. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are like, oh, well, I deserve kindness. Okay, but you also need to understand that you deserve someone who's going to hold you accountable, speak to you directly, which are things that you do for yourself, you know, because your ancestors and spirit guides are informing you somewhat of your purpose, which is to be a healer, to connect and bring others together, and that you need to invite your spirit guides to help you with the healing and knowledge. Now, here's something that I have learned, is that they're the ones that kind of give you the information on how to meet the right people, to say the right things, to go to the right places. So talk to them more often and do the work. And meditation movement, exercise. It'll increase your manifestation abilities. The life you want to create, Jordan, is at your fingertips. But you have to do the work. Now, you're doing the work on yourself, but this is coming to your spiritual gifts. This is coming into your how you affect your personal environment. But I'm going to let you know right now, Jordan, as you go on this journey, you're going to find out the people that you want to support you don't. And the people who support you are absolute fucking strangers. Sometimes you get lucky and people that you know are on board. But I'm going to tell you right now, about 98% of them won't be. Until you're so in it and so walking in your truth, is then they're going to see, well, look how she changed her life. Maybe I should try this. Maybe I should. And that's how it happens. And it's a chain reaction of people, you know, watching other people take off and how they did it. We're learning from each other. And so for you, you're an example to your environment. And there are going to be people who are going to try to challenge that environment that you're trying to create. But here's the kicker. The more you keep standing in your authentic truth with love and compassion, you know what I mean? People are going to come at you out of pocket. Don't match their energy. I repeat, do not match that energy, because the work you put in and you have put in can be lost if you match that energy. Any clarities? Anything else for Miss Jordan here? Anything else? You've planted the seeds. Now watch your fruits grow. And water that garden. Water your garden. No one else's. I mean, if you want to do acts of kindness, that's great. But know your fucking boundaries when it comes to it. Water your garden first, Jordan. And when your life starts to get together and be peaceful and less insecure, then you will be able to fully provide yourself, because you're providing for yourself. I don't know, you planted the seeds, and I cannot wait to see the woman you grow into. Thank you so much for your subscription, and I hope that this reading helps you with some clarity on moving forward on your journey. Blessed be, may you have the day you deserve. The universe loves you, and bye.